Good morning. I have just started dying off screen.
What a fantastic dynamite entrance this is.
Okay, let's pretend. Screen wipe. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to twitch.tv/ice cream uploads. I know that's not done it. It's still there.
I've got to edit this. You know what I mean?
Oh.
You keep on pausing it up.
Wow. See, I need my diffuser. Clearly, I need to lean over this way. I have an Albus oil filled diffuser over here. Do you know what? I'm gonna mess things up. No, I'm not. I'll show you the box that it came in. It's basically a PUBG care package that just spouts out fumes into the room because I'm full of Christmas lurgies. It was going away and it seems like it's coming back. But yes, good morning. Welcome to twitch.tv/ice cream uploads. My name is Graham Day and this is the Babe in a Box. Morning, babe.
Good morning.
Nice Uzki t-shirt you've got on there.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's like a knockoff, like a AliExpress or DHgate version of a Buzzkill t-shirt, but they forgot to put the B in the kit and the L at the end.
Nice. I do love a good bit of Uzki. So there we go. Oh, well, I've just spoiled what we're talking about by flipping to the Big Babe screen because it just showed what we're going to be discussing. Hey! Anyway, before we get into that, this is Ice Cream, and we are giving you our daily scoop of the news from the games industry and beyond. Every single weekday, 10 a.m, twitch.tv/ice cream uploads. We go live and give you our thoughts on the biggest and best news from the games industry. We then turn that into a video podcast that we upload to YouTube around an hour after the show finishes. YouTube.com/funny enough, Ice Cream uploads. And then a little bit later on in the day, we turn that video podcast into a standalone audio podcast so you can get us right in your ears, out and about on the go, you know, shopping, bit of Marks and Spencer's, Aldi, wherever you want to go. No hate. I mean, if you want to do Aldi, that's fine, that's good for me. I do like a bit of Aldi shop. Anyway, off topic, back on topic. We will be uploading that to 4 audio places: iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play. All 4 of those, you can get us right in your logos at any point. However, those video podcasts, the audio podcasts, the people listening, people watching there do not get the opportunity that anybody that is sat here right now in twitch.tv/ice cream uploads. If you are here live on Twitch, you get the opportunity to discuss the news with us. We want your thoughts, we want your impressions. You have a chance to impact the on-demand video podcast and the on-demand audio podcast that we put out a little bit later into this. So if you are here, please feel free to get involved. Are you here, Bib?
Maybe.
Oh, nice. What's in your cup? Is it a cup of tea or is it coffee?
It's a coffee with coffee mate.
It's got coffee, mate.
Got coffee mate. Yeah, I had a brew. I had a tea on the way in. I don't know why, right? I don't know if you get this as well, or it might just be me. But every time I have like an orange juice or anything with citrus elements in it, the back of my throat just starts. It feels like it just burns like an hour later. Don't know what it is.
I've been drinking a lot of like hot water, honey and lemon, which is just absolutely not a Graham Day drink, but just to get rid of sore throats and lurgy and stuff that I've had for like the past 3 weeks. And yeah, I had hot water, honey and lemon last night, and just drinking it last night, every time I had a sip, it was like, I hate that citrus tang that you get in your throat. But
like one of my favourite drinks, or alcoholic beverages, is like orange juice and vodka. But I can only have like 1 or 2 of them before like the back of my throat just burns, and then I can't drink any more of it. So, yeah, that's kind of like what I'm feeling like this morning. I don't know if it's like I'm getting ill at the back of my throat or something like that, but it just feels like it's not closing up, but it's got like a citrusy burn feel every time I drink something. So I've switched it up, gone with coffee to see if that changes anything.
So you're a fan of a screwdriver, eh?
Absolutely.
Apologies to everyone listening on. Actually, no, I'm going to mute my mic. Let's jump to Babe in the studio and he can pad while I stylishly and exclusively blow my nose for everyone watching on twitch.tv/ice cream uploads.
Well, so it looks like it's episode 4 of the 2020 edition of The Scoop. I'm trying to be as quiet as possible because I don't actually know how loud I'm coming through on the other side. I've got the mic a little bit closer to my face today so I can hear myself through my own earphones, which is great because I love the sound of my own voice.
Well, it sounds good to me. Can you hear me now?
Perfect, yo. Yeah.
But yeah, obviously what it sounds like for me is not necessarily what it sounds like for the chat. So if it does sound a bit loud, if Bibby is all gob, then welcome, that is Bibby. But if he isn't, then yeah, let us know. Anyway, I've just kind of give you a tease then by showing Bibby on screen, so I might as well bring it up now. We've included it in the tweet on twitter.com/ice cream uploads already. But Overwatch 2 coming in 2020. I will jump into that in just a sec. I just want to jump onto the comment in the chat for Fatman Dave. Good man, David. What do you think of Nathan Fillion Uncharted video if you watched it? I may have forgotten to watch it. Okay, I'm gonna write
you grew up with him, Dave. Do you know what I mean? He's like, he was one of Australia.
Yeah. It's like 50,000 pads. The thing is, this where I do the scoop from home, the home studio, the home office, whatever you want to call it. I share this workspace with my better half Danielle, so she uses it when she's working from home. But she has commandeered every single one of my pads. So Mrs. Dave, if you are listening to this, sort it out, love, or I'll sort you out. I won't. She'll beat me up. She's from Salford. But yeah, Nathan Fillion Uncharted. Okay, I have a note now. There is a small chance that I may actually remember to watch this video. No promises, but there may be. I was going to send a reminder through Facebook, but you looked eager to watch it. Yeah, I was, but it's like Bibi says, it's kind of like I can't multitask. I can task, and that was a good task whilst it was my task, but then when something else was my task, then no other tasks exist. Oh, look, something else! And it's kind of like... So, yeah. Anyway, let's jump in to the first bit of news today. There we go. Open this up full screen for you. Jumping into VG247, and Sherif Saed has our first news article of the day. Yet again, and he says Overwatch 2 may be coming this year, according to a deleted tweet. I do love a good deleted tweet controversy, and so many times it happens from a PlayStation account as well. GG PlayStation, give us all the news. Nice. Overwatch 2 could be closer than we originally assumed. Since the moment Overwatch 2, not Overcooked, which is nearly why I actually said then. Since the moment Overwatch 2 was revealed at BlizzCon last year, Blizzard avoided talking about a possible release date. This led us to believe the sequel may actually be early in development with a long way to go still. This is not what PlayStation Brazil believes, however. The company's official Twitter issued a tweet saying that Overwatch 2 is coming to PS4 in 2020. The tweet has since been deleted, but not before Voxel grabbed a screenshot. Huge white space on the screen there on my screen, but yeah, okay, nice. We have no way of knowing whether the tweet was removed because the information was inaccurate or because someone pushed the button too early. Given the structure of Overwatch 2, it could honestly go either way. Blizzard typically starts talking release dates closer to planned launch, but we've yet to hear any official word about the game since BlizzCon. With that in mind, Blizzard did say at the time that Overwatch 2 is at least a year out, which puts it sometime around November this year. At least being the operative word, of course. I'll hit play on the trailer, which I may also kill because... never mind. Screw you. Eurogamer adverts are always on a video, so let's not watch the trailer while we talk.
I've got a little small theory about this.
Oh, go on.
They have used Sprout, so I reckon that they've put this in, but put the wrong time and date.
Oh, interesting.
I reckon they just pressed go or just didn't pay attention to date and time, so it's just automatically
tried to schedule it and then just chunked it. Good point. I have another theory because that is definitely possible. Another theory is that trying to not be too generalizing to a point that it's offensive. I know a few different Latin American social agencies. I also know some that are completely contrary to this as well, but they are a little bit fire and forget, or a little bit Wild West, or fire from the hip. That's the word I was looking for. So they just kind of like go, yeah, post, boom, out. Oh shit, no, delete. Okay, let's. It's fine. It's Brazil. Nobody cares. I do know different agencies. However, I don't think PlayStation Brazil. I don't think PlayStation would hire an agency that's so lax with it. So I think it's probably more likely that that is the case. Either that, or they were just trying to draft some tweets. They're probably having conversations around it internally. There may be conversations about getting it on the Brazilian or the American PS Plus stuff, or at least on the store, if not on PS Plus. So they may be thinking, let's just start drafting things out. Let's see how things work. Let's test out our Bitleys or whatever. And someone's just gone, boop, fuck, delete.
I wonder how long it was there for. Well, it was long enough for someone to screen cap it, which obviously this day and age does not take a massive amount of long time either on mobile or on PC. But I wonder how long it was up there before someone got their office door booted down in PlayStation Brazil.
Oh, it's got to be like QuickTime. I imagine it'd be instantly like, excuse me. I'm trying to find. I remember. Actually, I was still there. Talking about PlayStation accounts, I remember when Star Wars Battlefront, the first one, was coming out. This is back in 2015, and I only know it's there because I was scrolling through my photos the other day trying to find something, and they just randomly tweeted. This is a screenshot that I took at like 10 to 11 at night when they posted it. They just randomly posted a picture of a stormtrooper with no text, no nothing. And then like I was like, so, and then they deleted it. So it was just like Stormtrooper's face, and then deleted the tweet. So I because I'm a bit of a knobhead, screenshotted it and responded saying, sorry.
See what you did. You're getting away from me, bitch.
And it's been in my my photos for the last 3 years, or 5 years, should I say? It'd be 5 years in 5 months. So you are welcome, PlayStation, here to pull you up on your shit 5 years later on. Number One Pirate says, "What did I miss?" Oh, it was quite funny actually, because do you know like when people do the what's it called, the body wave, like the body pop thing? I stood up like at the back of the room and Bibby like put his arms out and he kind of like touched the edge of the screen and I went like that and touched Bibby's finger and he continued and it was flawless. But
we ended up looking like a pair of wacky, wavy, inflatable arm flailing tube men or whatever you call them.
Well,
You got to start low. That's the trick. And go real high.
I just couldn't go any lower because it'd be like boom straight into the desk. What? So basically, oops, wrong person, text equivalent. Yeah, pretty much. Although it was a case of, I reckon that Star Warsy one was probably more a case of, okay, I'm just gonna put the text in, and they've gone to hit in the bit where you put the text. But I don't think it's still there on Twitter now. But the post button on Twitter, yeah, it's the top right corner. It used to be, I'm pretty sure, on the top left corner. So you'd go to hit right into where the text is, and it just go post. So someone's gone and deleted it and then posted it out with the text a few minutes later. No, we didn't really do that, Pirate. One thing you did miss was my I should be able to get it to reach over. There we go. My lift it up. There we go. Yeah, my diffuser, my PUBG care package diffuser. So yeah, that's all you missed.
It's cool as shit, that.
We've just started to talk about Overwatch 2. PlayStation BR, or PlayStation_BR, which is PlayStation's Brazilian Twitter account, tweeted that Overwatch 2 will be coming to PS4 in 2020, and then quickly deleted the tweet because they would have been absolutely spanked by Blizzard.
Yep.
What even is that? See, I've just had to explain this to Bibi. This is an infuser. Basically, you can get a dehumidifier, which takes all the moisture out of a room, but if you're ill, then you get you kind of need to take moisture in. The moisture lose up the pipe, so you get rid of all the gamminess inside you, and you can get like wheatgrass scents and whatever to put in them. I don't do any of that. I just stick Albus oil in it. So I'll fill that little box thing full of water, put a few drops of Albus oil in it, kind of like spaffs Albus scent into the room, and it makes you able to breathe and everything. And I've had like a plain white one for quite a while, but that was a Christmas present for the missus. She got me a PUBG care package infuser. There we go. So it's just a little box that spewts out that. So let's stick Bib on the shelf. You'll be able to see a bit better. There we go. So it's just a little this way. There, a box that
spaffs out moisture.
Yeah, exactly. So when you're ill, you feel good. And if you're listening on audio podcast services, you just have to imagine a weird-looking bloke wearing a Pez t-shirt, flailing around with a PUBG care package in his hands that's just spaffing smoke out. That's the picture. That's the picture. But yeah, I kind of feel like this is where we probably need to like loop Josie in and ask about Overwatch 2 because I don't know enough about Blizzard. and Blizzard, Overwatch. So, well, to be fair, Blizzard doesn't really know much about any of Blizzard's titles. The Activision side of it, yeah, fair enough. The Blizzard side, not so much. You've played some Overwatch, haven't you, Viv?
I have. I played quite a bit of it. Connor plays it a lot as well. No, probably not as much as Josie, but Connor does play it a lot. I don't know if he's still in the chat. I know he came in before, but yeah, it is a good game. I played it with him. I was, top of the leaderboard. Just walk into any game, top of the leaderboard. Easy stuff.
I'm just opening up them PUBG screenshots that I showed yesterday.
Yeah, the 2 minutes 41 seconds that lasted.
21 actually. 2 minutes 21, mate. Stop overestimating it. God.
Sorry, mate. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's I am looking. It's weird because it's literally only just come out. I say only just come out. It's been out about 3 months on the Switch. And it's been out long enough now that you'd have to expect a sequel to come out. It's a massive esports game as well. It's not as if it's just like one of the ones that it's lasted kind of one season or it's only lasted a few tournaments. It's still massive. Fair enough, it may not be as big as it is in America or out in the Eastern Territories, but yeah, over on our side and America, it's still huge, but not as big as it is over there. So you have to expect that they are going to try and cash in at some point and make a second one.
Yeah.
And sooner rather than later, I think if they want to try it, I don't watch the Overwatch esports. So I've got absolutely no knowledge of it. So I can't, say much on that topic, but I feel at some point, like the Call of Duty, they've got a different game every year, do you know what I mean? But their esports is absolutely massive. It doesn't matter which year it is, there's going to be a Call of Duty tournament surrounding the game that's active at the time. I don't think they're doing Black Ops. It was Black Ops 4 the last one. I don't think they're doing Black Ops 4 tournaments now. Fair enough, they might be doing the Battle Royale style, but I'm assuming that when the Battle Royale comes into the new one, that one's going to fade away. So yeah, if they just kind of keep on top of it, if they want to add some more characters to it, some more maps, then rather than adding to the base one, I mean, I'd much rather them add to the base one. I think we spoke about this a few times in regards to games like World of Warcraft that have the base game, but they just keep on piling stuff on top of it, so you can always play the game easily, and you always have the latest updates. You just might have to buy the expansion pass for 25 quid or whatever it is every 6 to 9 months. Which if you are playing a game like that, and if you are an esports star or an aspiring esports athlete, then paying £30 every 9 months, I don't think that's a bad subscription, shall we say, if you are putting the hours in. I mean, you've bought PUBG on every single console that you pretty much had. Compared to how much time you've put into it, you've definitely got your money's worth, including the Battle Pass stuff that you pay for as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually, full disclosure, got PUBG free on... Oh no, I only got free on one PlayStation. But that's the one where I paid for the most battle passes, so I've paid for the game itself in that side then. But yeah, the amount of time I've got back from it, and I've mentioned this on here before, my sort of old man kind of measuring scale is 20 quid-ish to go to the cinema to watch 2 hours. So £10 an hour is the amount you're happy to spend on entertainment in a cinema. I've spent £8 on a PUBG Battle Pass that's lasted me about 3 months so far. So pounds per hour is much better than going to the cinema in that sort of sense.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I compare it to. I mean, ding, 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 Resident Evil time. But when Resident Evil 7 came out and it was £40, there was rumours that it was going to be an 11-hour game, which for me, I'd pay fucking 120 quid to play a brand new Resident Evil game. It don't bother me whatsoever. But compare that to how much I'd pay at a restaurant for going something to eat, or to the cinema, or go to watch City for fuck's sake for 90 minutes. I'm paying £45-50 to go and watch them. So yeah, getting your money's worth out of games like that. If you do play them a lot and you are interested in the esports stuff and things like that are around it, then fair enough, you're definitely going to get your money's worth out of it over a year's time at least.
Well, looking at release cycles, Overwatch, the initial release date was the 24th of May 2016, so almost 4 years that game has been around. I was kind of weighing it up because we're talking about games and esports, and COD is a big esport, but that's not a tier 1 esport. So you've got the likes of the StarCrafts and the Dotas and things like that, and League of Legends. They are tier 1. COD is like tier 2. There may be people that have got a bit more worldly knowledge on esports that may jump in. Actually, no, it's a tier 3. I think you'll find.
what would you if you're going to rank them as games? What would be the basis for them to be ranked? Is it money given to the participants? Is it money? Is it
I
people
wouldn't.
playing it, or is it
Yeah,
viewers?
it's more number of players and more particularly the number of viewers slash the audience sizes, the crowds. So if you look at the number of people that will watch a League of Legends. Spectacular, and that actually filters through to prize money as well. Starcrafts and Dotas and things like that. They aren't games that I watch, but I know they are bigger than any esport that I will watch, purely because they can fill arenas in Seoul. They can get more concurrent viewers for a live stream than any of the others. And I know they are ranked. They have been ranked in terms of like that tier 1, 2, 3. And COD isn't quite in the top tier. But Overwatch, I would think, because of the fact that the COD setup has now started to copy the way that Overwatch has worked in terms of the COD League copies the Overwatch League in terms of you can have franchises that you buy. So the London Spitfire franchise is 25 million or whatever it costs to buy in. COD have just copied that. The difference is COD reinvents the game every 12 months. Just like you would get with a football game, you might have someone like F2 Tex or whatever he's called now, Phase Tex now. So he may be really good one year. I mean, he's probably a bad example because he's good again. But you will get someone like maybe Gorilla, Spencer, who was, I think, Huge Gorilla and then Unilad Gorilla and whatever. He was world champion or UK champion one year and then kind of went away for a couple of years because the game changed every year. So he's not as good because the game has changed in a way that doesn't support him. And when you come to esports and you've got full teams of people, not only have you got individual differences, but the way that a team works in a different year and year could mean that, okay, your franchise in the COD League could be huge and world beaters. You may have the Shroud of COD, but then next year Shroud might actually just be average Joe. And okay, actually the guy that's been mediocre in the other team that finished third, fourth in the league or whatever, okay, he's now Shroud because the game suits him. Whereas Overwatch has remained constant enough that the game's just been updated. New what do they call the players? They're not operators or legends or whatever the characters are in the game. They may add new characters into the game, but the game itself doesn't get drastically changed year upon year. So I think Overwatch, it is a little bit of a gamble to add a new game, but I think it's also not at the same time because I've kind of said it with PUBG. PUBG's had its heyday and it's dropping off now. The only way that they can really revitalise that is to just, from a marketing perspective, tell people, okay, that has finished, and now this is the same thing, but better. This is PUBG 2. So Overwatch has been gone. People have seen it. People loved it. It was amazing, but they also know that people have got, be it new weapons, be it skins, weapons are up to whatever levels, whatever. People instantly going with those assumptions that I'm already at a disadvantage because I've not played it since 24th of May 2016. I'm 4 years behind, nearly 5 years behind, whatever. 3 and a bit years behind. So yeah, I'm not going to bother. Whereas Overwatch 2 comes out, people go, okay, well now everyone's on a level playing field. They might be able to start now, so that could be a huge kickstart for the esports and the esports league.
Well, I'm going to throw a curveball in for you then. Okay, where would you rank Fortnite in that?
Good question.
Considering it was one of the most watched and had the biggest prize pool at the time ever. I don't know if it's been beaten yet. So I think Dota 2 may have crept in and beat it since. But yeah, at the time, I think it was, and it was. It was. Fuck me! It was the biggest prize pool at the time and the most watched because it was. Was it in like a 90,000 seater stadium in America somewhere?
Yeah, something like that. I don't think it was the most attended in physical, was it? Because I'm pretty sure biggest esports. I'm gonna see if I can find this.
I mean, it could have been the biggest esport outside of China or Japan or something like that. but I'm fairly certain at the time. I mean, it was at a time when I really didn't care about Fortnite or anything that was surrounding it, so I probably just glimpsed over it and got it completely wrong. But I'm fairly certain it was the biggest prize pool and the highest attended spectator-wise, because it was at a stadium of like 90,000, which I know full well there is stadiums in the likes of China and Japan that are literally just use stadiums for esports events. So I could just be chatting bullshit there.
3, 2, 1.
But yeah.
Well, that's, you can't really class that, can you? I mean, Katowice, Poland, the Intel Extreme Masters in 2017 had a live attendance of 173,000 people.
Where at?
Katowice, Poland. Unless that means, like, I'm going to say, I can't imagine there's a 173,000 seat stadium. That's got to be over a few days.
Yeah, it has to be. Because how many people can Gamescom fit attendees wise? And that place is fucking massive. It's not an arena. It's obviously a building that goes on for about 17 million years. Check my Fitbit. Yeah, there's some crazy numbers that go in there, but I just thought if we're gonna rank them like that, I mean, at some point they are gonna get re-ranked, and I would. It depends. I mean, they only had one. It's only been one World Cup, hasn't there, for Fortnite so far?
Yeah.
Have they done? Has Epic done any other Fortnite tournaments to that kind of magnitude? Obviously not for the prize pot, but do they put on their own competitions like Call of Duty do, where they do regional finals and things like that?
Not to that level. They've had they had the Fortnite Pro-Am, which was like alongside E3-ish. And
that was an invitational though, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was like you got the likes of was it like Marshmello and Ninja or something like that? So,
yeah, Marshmello DJ'd it, didn't he? And they had Deadmau and things like that.
Oh yeah, Ninja and Marshmello, DJ Van and iFaris.
Yeah.
So yeah, they had a mixture of pros and celebrities in that sort of sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, just looking, from what I can see, there may be old articles. From what I can see, League of Legends 2018 was the biggest, but that was May. This was written in May 2019. I don't know when the Fortnite Worlds were.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I would say so. The curveball, I would say Fortnite is up there, but it's a slightly different beast in the fact that Fortnite attendees for that event or Fortnite viewers weren't necessarily fans of the pros, and that's what you get with esports. It's usually people like Faze, but people will turn up for Tfue, or I mean, obviously he's a content creator, or not anymore, or people. Well, let's use one that I can speak a bit more confident about. People like Cloud9, but people turn up for Shroud, and that sort of thing, or they turn up for Cloud9 because Shroud is there. They turn up for the players and the teams. People at the Fortnite World Cup didn't turn up to watch Booga or whatever it's called. Win. They turn up because they're Fortnite fans, and this Fortnite is a huge thing. They're all big fans of Fortnite, and they're playing that right now. People that go watch StarCraft turn up for their teams in StarCraft. People that watch Fortnite turn up because they like Fortnite. Maybe I'm wrong. If I am wrong, people, please feel free to tell me. But I believe that would.
Well, I know that people, when they go to watch particularly CS:GO events, well, yeah, I'm a fan of Liquid, but I'm also like a big fan of Stewie or something like that. But yeah, I think people are more fans of the players rather than the team.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I could just be talking absolute shit there, but I'm fairly certain that's the way that it is. That they're there for the personality. Like people love Shroud. People still love Shroud. They go to his streams and watch Shroud. You know what I mean? It's not. Yeah, they don't just stop supporting. Like I like Shroud. I still keep an eye out for Clyde's results because I liked watching Shroud at the time. But I wouldn't say I'm a ride or die.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. People definitely are fans of the individuals. It's just a case of I was going beyond that in terms of you might support Cloud9 at the CS:GO majors because Shroud is part of Cloud9. But you don't necessarily get that in Fortnite. I mean, not that people aren't fans of, say, Myth from TSM or whatever, but I'd imagine that the teams and the players that people are turning up for CS:GO tournaments, I'd imagine there's a lot of people just turning, a lot of families with kids just turning up to the Fortnite World Cup because it's Fortnite and their kids, they've just bought the kids a pickaxe toy from Woolworths, even if that's been gone for like 10 years or whatever. A lot of people are fans of teams. Actually, I heard something the other day that it was coming back. That's the reason why it's in my mind. There was a news article saying Woolworths might be coming back. A lot of people are fans of teams rather than orgs. It's weird. Yeah, that's fine. So I'll be a Fnatic fan until they're off Switch. Yeah. So that it's not kind of what I'm saying though. But it's like not so much the fans of the players and the teams or the orgs or whatever. It's more the difference in the way that people support from. Because Bibby's curveball is Fortnite because it had so many viewers and such a big prize pool. Should Fortnite be considered on the same scale as the tier 1 esports, the StarCraft, the League, the Dota, and things like that? And I was saying possibly not, because, I mean, like I said, I could be wrong. People are watching Fortnite for Fortnite and because it's big, because they like to watch Fortnite, not necessarily because they're watching it for their teams. It's like people tuning in to watch football rather than watching United or something like that. It's kind of thing. A lot of Liverpool fans aren't going to go, well, I'm a football fan, so I'm going to watch United. I mean, there are a lot of football fans that do just watch any football. I will watch most football. If there's nothing on this football game, I'll watch football. It's good. But from this, these people are actively going out their way or attending the event because it is Fortnite. So, I mean, my assumption, I could be wrong. If I am wrong, please feel free to correct me if you've got different opinions. Fortnite, I agree, it's bigger than the teams. Yeah. That's probably the best way to sum it up. Fortnite itself is bigger than at this point in time. Fortnite is bigger than the people that are competing in it. Probably the same thing applied to CS:GO and League at sometimes. The game gets big, and then the creators and the stars within that get big and surpass the game. Just like.
Do you reckon? Yeah, sorry, go on. I was cutting you up too soon there.
I was going to say, just like a Beckham or someone will have done in football. Beckham got bigger than the team, got bigger than the sport, and is a superstar kind of thing. And I reckon that will happen with Fortnite, but it's not done that yet.
Is that because it's not established enough, though?
Yeah.
Like, as an esport, it's not established enough for... Because I reckon now the next winner is not going to be the same. It is Booga, wasn't it? Was it Booga that won the first one?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't want to say he's not going to win again because he could potentially do it, but they haven't got, like, for instance, City last year, for instance, won the Premier League. The year before they won the Premier League, they're instilled as the Premier League champions now. We haven't had another massive Fortnite events to say, okay, well, Booga's going to come in and take it again. I don't even think they've had a teamed Fortnite event yet, have they? Where they've got a team of 4 competing against another team of 4, like they're doing PUBG or CS:GO or whatever else. So as a team sport, yeah, it's all about the individuals as it is, but they haven't had the events to be able to try and say, right, he's the Fortnite guy, they're the CS team, that kind of way. It's weird.
I think the World Cup had solos and duos. Yeah, it didn't have squads. Okay, solos and duos. One second.
Sorry. Again, I mean, for people who are listening to this on podcast services, we'd much rather talk about stuff and then try and back it up with what we're trying to say, which is why sometimes you might hear a slight bit of downtime. It's usually because we're researching stuff. I mean, if you are in the chat, this is why you get the benefit of listening to us live. If you have got an opinion on this, feel free to chime in with it, because we will obviously discuss it as a community at the time. We'd much rather come away with a decent opinion on something rather than just absolutely slating stuff that we potentially might not know much about.
Yeah, exactly. I can't see anything, and then I'm only checking the questionable source that is Wikipedia, but the Fortnite World Cup Wikipedia page says that there was only solos and duos. I believe that was the case anyway, but I wasn't 100%. So yeah, no squads, no teams in that. So it is built on individuals at the moment, which kind of ties to Fortnite. Fortnite is a very individual thing, I suppose. It's kind of I don't know. Maybe I've not fully realize this thought process, but CS:GO is definitely built around squads and teams and playing together, and League of Legends is built around teams and playing together and having people that can take on different roles, and Fortnite, it's your individual skills working with other people. It's not seen as that kind of thing yet. I need to.
Well, CS:GO is 110% a team game purely because you have to have someone like a sniper. You have to have someone who's like, I don't want to say a tank because that doesn't work, but someone who's half decent with assault weapons, or someone who's just throwing mollies or things like that, like a defense, like Overwatch, for instance. You've got a team of healers, you've got a team of tanks, you've got those individual people make the team. You can't have like a full team of tanks because that just won't work. You know what I mean? You need someone to be able to heal you. Whereas in Fortnite, you might have someone who's really good at building and really good at shooting. Like me and you were saying, I'm so much more aggressive at that game than you are, because you're learning how to build. You're learning how to, right, okay, I'm going to build this here. You flank right while I work my way around to the left, kind of thing. Whereas I'm just like, fuck it, I'll beat him in a gunfight, no problem. If he starts throwing up walls, I am done for. So it's a different beast, Fortnite, purely because there isn't that much. Let's say there isn't that much to it. They don't have the defend and attack options. Fair enough, the defense is throwing up the walls, but in terms of having someone behind you who can heal you, or fair, yeah, okay, you have the res, you have the reboot cards and things like that, but it's not as straightforward as, okay, you're down to 10 health, here you go, let me stand there 3 seconds while I heal you. That doesn't exist. I can throw you bandages, but you've got to heal yourself, unless you have the bandage gun. But yeah, I don't think Fortnite is a team game. You can have your squads, but as an outright team game, that doesn't exist.
It's a totally different variable than you normally see in esports.
Yeah.
Says Connor. Usually there are predefined roles, exactly, and that's kind of, I think that's probably, so the original topic piece is Overwatch 2. We're talking about how we were comparing that to the likes of Call of Duties, because obviously the COD League and the franchising of that, and we then gradually moved on through things like my first definition, Graham can't be asked to go to the studio. This, mate, if you've got this at home, you won't go anywhere, mate. The fact that I do make it into the studio at all should be applauded when I've got all this here. Yeah, so that's the kind of thing, and I think that's where Overwatch, the fact that Overwatch has been around for 3 years and hasn't been redone every year like Call of Duty does, I think that allows it to establish itself as a longer term esports. We're just talking about how the switch to a second game could either pay dividends or it could be hugely disruptive. So a lot of people will go, I love this game. Like myself is a perfect example. Star Wars Battlefront, loved it. Star Wars Battlefront 2, hate it, don't play it, won't play it. I will try it again. I've got to the point where I'm going to give it another go, but only because of big updates and a really cool trailer after a lot of time of letting it pass. Whereas a lot of people that love Overwatch could play Overwatch 2 and think, oh, this is shit. This is not the game that I've played for the last 3 years, and that's a big risk. But those predefined roles that you mentioned, Overwatch has that, doesn't it? You can be someone that can, like, I've seen Josie playing where she was playing like some sort of witch thing. Or it might have been you playing it actually, babe. I'm pointing over there.
Yeah, as Myra's the healer. I mean, I'm glad Connor's here now because he has a lot more knowledge of the game than I do. I've probably put about 20 hours in max. But yeah, he's just mentioned that the Overwatch League is struggling massively at the moment, as far as he knows. I wonder if Overwatch 2 can see player increase, player base and viewer base. Which again, like we mentioned with the Call of Duty stuff, you're bringing a brand new game modes, brand new guns, brand new setting. Obviously, this time it was boots on the ground and things like that. Lapsed players will eventually come back. We've done it with Fortnite when they brought Star Wars stuff back into it. It swings and roundabouts. It's something. There will always be something to bring someone back to a game if you put something in that they like. It's as simple as that. But yeah, I think it's the time. It's definitely yeah. I'll give you a definitive answer. I think it is the time for a new Overwatch. Nearly 4 years, I think you said, since the last one.
See, Connor's comment about it struggling massively. I wonder if Overwatch 2 will be free to play and increase the player base and viewer base. That's the thing for me. That is what kind of makes a game transcend. It going free to play, so people have access, that is what can potentially unlock viewers. If you can do that well, and you can do that in a way where you get your revenue without it being paywalled to hell and it being creative, then that is where your foundation start. I think the only thing that makes that difficult for Overwatch is the previous marketing spiel from Blizzard, I believe it came from BlizzCon, was that any of the purchases or the characters or whatever they call that you have in Overwatch 1 carries over to Overwatch 2. So that's kind of like, on one hand I'm thinking, oh, that's really cool. I love the fact that stuff that you've bought you can take over. Imagine playing an Ultimate Team or a My Club or something, and you've got a billion currency or whatever that you can then take over to the next game as a starting point. That's amazing. You never get that happen. But then I'm thinking, okay, if they're allowing people to take over transactions and purchasing things forward like that, surely that's gonna make it harder for them to make revenue. So then that's where I'm thinking, okay, they're probably gonna have to charge for this game. If not, all the time, maybe they might just go, okay, we're going to charge for it for the first year, and then it'll be a free-to-play kind of thing. Or they might do a PS Plus / Xbox Game Pass kind of thing. But yeah, I imagine with that in mind, I reckon they'll probably pull it through. But then again, I'm saying that, Overwatch, if there is a lot of in-game purchases anyway, they may just take that and go, okay, well, Fortnite has changed the world by being free-to-play. Maybe we can give it a try, so it'll be good to see how they go. I'll play PES again when Bibby is announced a legend. Bibby is a legend. That doesn't need announcing.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't need to be playing PES for that. Do you know what I mean? But I appreciate that, Spike. But yeah, I mean, I do enjoy Overwatch. It's been a long time since I have played it, and as an esport, the only way for it, I don't want to see it die, because we need more esports games in the world. I love watching Jinx. Jinx is absolutely amazing, which is obviously the UK esports. Like, it's on Sky, you can flick it on at any time and it'd be on there. But the biggest thing for me this year was the fact that FIFA went onto Sky Sports, and it gave a brand new audience to people who had absolutely no fucking idea, who thought that losers just play games in their bedroom. But the fact that it was on Sky Sports and people was able to watch the FIFA championships. I mean, we live and breathe esports here at Scream Uploads, and obviously Jelly Media. We are esports enthusiasts. We put on esports tournaments all around the world, not just in Pro Evolution Soccer. So having more esports, I mean, that could increase our profits, if we're being honest. But yeah, just having more esports, that'll be absolutely great. And I do think, like Connor said, if we have a new Overwatch game, the time is now for them. If they are starting to struggle, make it free to play. See the players come back in. Bring a new game out later on this year on the 4-year anniversary or something, and let's just carry on with it. The lapsed players will eventually come back when there's something new. We've seen it with Fortnite.
We clearly do live and breathe esports. I've switched to this screen because Bibby's there wearing a PES League hoodie.
Yeah,
and underneath that PES League hoodie, he's got an Uzkey t-shirt on. Oh no, it is a full Buzzkill one. I thought it was just an Uzkey. Full one.
It's not a snide one. So yeah, I am wearing esports merchandise. I absolutely adore it. I mean, I didn't start watching Counter-Strike properly until I started working here, and Connor wouldn't shut the fuck up about Counter-Strike. But now I watch it pretty much all the time, because CS:GO, ESL always have it on repeat on Twitch. So yeah, it's brilliant. Like, the amount of attention to detail that goes into these team ones, not just necessarily like PES and FIFA, where it's just individual players playing it. The team ones are fascinating to watch. Yeah. Watching 5 people sat at their station with a coach behind them, saying, right, okay, we know full well we're going to run B this time. They're going to try and take A. We'll run B. We'll flank them. We'll fuck them. We'll take the win. It's amazing to watch.
I love any sort of team sport, and like I remember. We worked with Faye covering ECS Season 6. I remember sitting there having Connor and Jordan, or Enix, he's probably not in the chat, but he does drop in every now and then. Anyway, giving me the rules and like, give me a quick 101 of what is CSGO and what do I need to look out for. And then, by the end of it, like end of one night's content, so we covered all the EU stuff and the American stuff back to back. So we started at like 6 o'clock and finished at like 4 a.m. or whatever. You loved it by the end of that 18 hours. I did. It was amazing. I'm sat there watching some guy with an AWP peek down an alleyway, fucking collateral wallbang sort of stuff. I'm saying words that I don't even know. Harvey Wallbanger! Yes!
I feel like a proud dad.
I was talking about about you then wearing his Uzkey t-shirt. Although Dad, wears my t-shirt, you told me months and months ago that I was a model and I could get my stuff. Bibby's got t-shirts. And
Oh, we
stuff.
haven't got that one. This is an old one. This is an old one.
Oh, I'll let you off.
But yeah, it's again we've spent about half an hour long. We've been streaming for 52 minutes and we're still on the first one. But again, we are an esports channel. We absolutely love it.
Says Connor, get out of here. Yeah. Sorry, interrupting you. I've got to take your point now and use that to run into the next article. We do work with esports, and it's also quite a slow news period. So it's nice to have these
scraping the bottom of the barrel again.
Yeah, but it's also good on the other hand. Like sometimes we have to like rush through the stories because we've got 6-7 pieces of news. But when we've only got like 3 bits of news, it gives us time to go off topic and discuss like around the subject. So it's nice to be able to do that every now and then. So we should count our blessings while they're here. Let's talk the PS5 logo, says Spike. Oh, that was Monday or Tuesday. Or
that was Monday, that wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. There's a long. Oh no, it was Tuesday. Long old story. It was me and Luke. There was a long old story where we got to go. Here's the logo, and that's the end of it. And then Tuesday it was like, here's an Xbox that isn't really an Xbox, and that's the end of it. So, oh no, that's the news. But anyway, speaking of the news, I'm gonna let Bibby fill while I just type in my little stuff here.
So looking back at the comments, then we've had quite a few in there. I do appreciate everyone, obviously, that stops by and wants to chip in with these topics. It does make us second guess what we're about to say, which is obviously great because usually we talk absolute shit. But Spike said I need his face and body scan for reasons. I'm guessing that was me being a legend in Pro Evo.
Nope.
Dave says, I think for the moment crossplay is what will help new games get bigger. No one's going to be left out for not having the wrong console and hardware. I do agree with that. Crossplay is the future, as well as game streaming.
When it's not in PUBG, because it just doesn't work. There's too much.
Well, the hardware and software need to be simultaneously running. You can't have one faster than the other. That makes no fucking sense. Like when we're playing Fortnite, I'm in the game on my Switch faster than you are on the PlayStation. That makes no sense.
Yeah, that's bizarre. Like we're sat there, I'm literally sat right next to you. You're there just like, oh, I'm just running around in the lobby. I'm like, well, I'm looking at the loading screen, and then I'm hearing people flying out of the battle bus, and I'm like, still looking at the loading screen.
Loading. Bring back 10v10. Baby, I wish 10v10 had come back. If Pirates in here, sort your fucking shit out, lad. We need some more of that. You loved it by the end of the 18 hours. Did that. Let's talk about PS. We've done that. I was working, blah, blah, blah. I learned my new Switch that has Dauntless is utter dog shite on the Switch. Is it? I haven't actually played it. I didn't really enjoy it on the PS4 purely because it's like Monster Hunter, and I am shit at Monster Hunter. So I didn't really give it a second chance, unlike Fortnite, which we talked 1,000,001 times about in this, which we have played and rinsed all over Christmas.
Next Gen Renegade says, reminds me of the old PUBG loading times. I remember when we used to do PUBG Mondays, me and Craig streaming, back when Ice Cream Uploads had its old design. Me and Craig stream on a Monday, and we'd load in, and it'd just be like, oh, I've landed. A plasticine building is there. It's now a normal building. I can get in. I've got a gun. Yes, I'm ready to go. And then, boop, some stairs will appear, and you're stuck like in a cubby hole under some stairs that you can't get out of. Great. Me and Craig was playing ages ago. I remember like we'd got really far into a game, and I ran into a building. And this wasn't even at the beginning of the game. This was like well into a game. Ran into a building, and we must have just been flying too quick in a vehicle, so that everything hadn't rendered in front of us. And I ran into this building, and there was like a little. It was probably, in reality, maybe 10 centimetres worth of rubbish, but they designed it so it was looked like a flattened, squashed bin bag and some papers or whatever in the corner of this room. Anyway, I ran into it, and it then loaded in, and it was like my feet were anchored into it, so I just couldn't get out. I could rotate, I could whatever, I just couldn't get out of it. So Craig had to punch me to death to take my loot to carry on into the circle.
Well, nothing will epitomise the Pro Evolution 20 servers then when me and you were doing and I couldn't play on my screen, I had to play on your screen, despite us having 2 screens with 2 different games.
Yeah, that's so bad. So for those of you that are listening and can't see, I'll put Bibby on screen for those that can see, though. So where Bibby is now, that's the Ice Cream Uploads studio. Hi, Bib. So I was sat exactly where he is, facing forward, looking at the screen, and Bibby was sat off to his right-hand side, just over there. So you could see the edge of him in shot. So he was on the right hand side of the screen, looking off the side of the screen because he had a second screen. We had like a screen, one of those like TVs that you used to have in school, where someone rolls it in. We rolled one of those up to the side, a monitor and a console. Bibby was playing there, but the lag on his was so bad that it was better for him to turn around and watch my screen to see where he is.
Game servers, eh?
Hey, God bless the internet. But anyway, from talk of disasters, so let's move on to. As you can see on screen there, the GDC Awards nominations, from disasters to winners, or at least potential winners, as I'll bring this article up on screen. Written by Stephany Nunneley for VG247. Death Stranding, Control, and Outer Wilds lead nominations for the 20th annual GDC Awards. So the article goes on to say the annual GDC Awards will be held in March, and nominations for Game of the Year are Death Stranding, Control, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, Untitled Goose Game, and Outer Wilds. Each of the aforementioned games received multiple Games Developers' Choice nominations. Death Stranding leads with 7 nominations, followed by Control, and Outer Wilds with 5 nominations each. Other titles recognised as finalists in multiple categories include 4 nominations each for Disco Elysium and Untitled Goose Game. Sayonara Wild Hearts and Sekiro Shadows Die Twice were both nominated for 3 awards. Any video game that was released and made publicly available even during the 2019 calendar year was eligible for the 2020 Game Developers' Choice Awards. The complete list of nominees, including honourable mentions for the GDC Awards 2020, is as follows even.
There is a lot here. I think we should just go for the most popular ones. In fact, you pretty much nailed them in the ones above.
Yeah, exactly. Game of the Year would be
nowhere else.
Best audio. It's clearly going to be Call of Duty because that's the only thing that it was the same sort of conversation we had around the Game Awards. Call of Duty did a full dev pitch about how bullets sound hitting different surfaces and echoes and so on. So I'd be well surprised if that didn't. Best debut.
There is a massive miss on this list, and can you guess what it is?
Because you're saying it, I'm going to assume that it's the lack of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
That's absolutely right. It does not begin with PUBG, and it ends in Evil 2.
Is it Schmesident Evil?
It rhymes with that. Yeah, what the fuck? It didn't even get one like a couple of nominations anywhere in any category. What the shit? Surely it's got to be in one.
It got an honourable mention for best technology.
Fuck. What a shower of shit. Who's doing this? Right. I demand a recount. I'm not having it. Best visual art. Nope, not in there either.
That is amazing. Let me just jump back to Chrome and show this. I've just done a Control and F in Google to find instances of the word Reze. So there you go. Best technology. Honourable mentions goes to Gears 5, Coalition, Xbox Game Studios, Resident Evil 2 from Capcom. So that is the only mention within the article. But Resident Evil has been so big that VG247 has 2 other instances of it appearing on
in the tabs at the bottom of the screen as well. I've just done the same fucking thing.
So at the top of the screen, it appears in the top nav alongside Pokemon and Fortnite and GTA 5 and Red Dead. And then it also, same thing again, same buttons, appears in the bottom bar. So that's how big the game is. It's one of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games to have been featured in the top nav of VG247, but it only gets one honourable mention for technology.
Apex Legends! Who's still fucking playing that game? It's like that no one's playing that Battle Royale game anymore. No one. Where's Resident Evil? In the nav bar. It's in the footer of the website. Is it balls nominated for anything? Absolute shit. I'm having a word with them. I am salty. You're right. I'm salty. I mean, the amount of nominations that they got for Game of the Year, but then GDC can't fucking put them up for anything. I don't even like them anyway. Shove your awards up your ass. I'm having a meltdown here. I'm having an absolute meltdown. But yeah, I mean, out of these. I mean, it says, when Death Stranding's getting 9 nominations, was it? 7 nominations? Fucking hellfire. I mean, I don't even want to be cliche for me to say, oh, it's cool to hate on it, mate. It's a fucking shit game. It looks shit. I don't want a Deliveroo simulator. I mean, it's all stuff that's been said before. It's not. This isn't a hot take.
Just want to open. Oh, no. Can't find it.
There goes the GDC sponsored stream, mate. They could sponsor our stream and then start giving categories out to everybody else's stream, even if they sponsored ours. By the sounds of it. Absolute shit. Death Stranding money, sticking up their ass. No one wants to play that game.
Just want to do this. Imagine someone just gone, Apex Legends! Who even still plays that game? And then looks like this. Apex Legends! It's the Ice King from Game of Thrones! I was actually looking for the come at me bro meme, the come at me bro. He was stood there like, Apex Legends! For those of you listening to audio services, Bibby is a little bit annoyed.
I don't know if that came across well. Probably didn't. But just know. I mean, who's streaming Apex Legends now? Is it even in like the top 5? If it's not in the top 5, I mean, Resident Evil 2 isn't in the top 5, so we're not even going to go into that. But still,
that's not a continued service game though, so that's the difference. Let's have a look. Do you know what? Actually, because you've asked the question, oh, I can hear my own voice.
Mate, I'm having to scroll here to find Apex Legends.
It's second line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's in top 10. Just behind PUBG.
Oh yeah, it's a season 3. It's season 3 channel art. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, you're not even the best. You're not even close to being the best battle royale, mate. Escape from Tarkov's taking you. Counter Strike doing bits.
He's almost double what PUBG is. It's over double what Apex is. Tarkov is flying at the moment. I keep watching a bit of Tarkov, a bit more padding because we've not spoken enough off topic. I keep watching Tarkov on an evening. Me and Daniel keep tuning into streams. A lot of BR streamers are jumping into Tarkov. Yeah. Some of them have given up on their own games, and I've seen a few Apex streamers that have given up on Apex at the moment. I don't know why, but I keep hearing that Apex is in a bad place at the moment. I don't know if it's just because it's at the end of the season or what, and I don't know if it is at the end of the season or if they've just added a patch and it's not playing well. But a number of Apex players have given up on it at the moment, not completely, and others are playing Apex. And then towards the end of the stream are going, okay, we're going to jump out and we're going to play some. Some have played Witcher, some are jumping into Tarkov, and a lot of the PUBG guys are doing the same thing, jumping into Tarkov as well. And I keep watching it, and it looks so intense. But
that's it, yeah.
I just don't understand so much of it. Like the looting element is, I was watching Halifax in bed last night, PUBG / now Tarkov streamer, and he's like my spirit animal when it comes to Tarkov, because I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing with this stuff, and he's just like, sell, keep, don't know, ditch, delete. But when you're in the looting screen, it's just, not the loot, your inventory screen, you've got a huge wall of boxes and you're trying to fit things in, and someone in his chat absolutely nailed it. He's like, oh, nice to see you playing Escape from Tetris. And I was like, that's exactly what it is. Fucking hell.
It's a game that I really need. I'm probably going to pick it up on payday because I really want to start playing it. It looks great. Like, I think it's absolutely no surprise that I like games that are atmospheric and things like that. So this is like the perfect game because you have no fucking idea what's going around the corner. It's not like a battle royale where you know there's going to be 100 people and it's the last one to win. Whereas this is like you need to get what you need to get and then extract with everything that you've got. If you die, you lose the lot. So
it's like yesterday.
This tense as shit.
Halifax again, same stream. Trying to figure stuff out, and he was doing scav runs, and they was talking about people being deployed at different times. Like if you go in fully armored or whatever, you can go in, and then scavs can come in afterwards or something. So I'm assuming, is a scav just a scavenger, someone that goes in with nothing and tries to pick stuff and get out? But
I think so, yeah. I think so, but I don't understand it. Like the play that again, this comes down to I don't really know much more about it, but I imagine what you're saying is right. If you're going as a scav, you don't have anything. You might just have a pistol, and then whatever you take, you keep. Whereas a player, you're going fully armored, but you want to take bigger and better stuff. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, because he went in and he had no backpack, so he couldn't take anything that took up like 6. Scav have equipment going in. Okay, well he couldn't take anything that took 6 item slots because he didn't have the space for it. He had his gun and his ammo, so that was like left him with 5 slots. So he said if I found, he kept saying a lion, and I was thinking he's gonna find a lion, just come out. But like,
it's weird because when I was watching Doc, he has this thing flash up, on his YouTube things where he goes scav our player, but the scavs wasn't shooting back at him. Like even if he could just run past the scavs, I don't know if it was computer, like NPC scavs or what, but there was somewhere he'd just aim his gun at, and then he'd have no fire or anything against him, so he'd run round them and still wouldn't have any fire. But like if you shot one of these NPCs or scavs or whatever it is, everybody knew where you were, so that other players would then come to hunt you. I don't know that much about it. As I said, I just like to watch it. It's a good narrative every single time. Like you watch PUBG for that, you like the narrative of it.
But my issue with this though is it's not so much the narrative. It's the narratives are there's more to the narrative, and my issue is I don't understand the narrative.
Yeah. Yet.
Yeah, exactly. I keep saying to Danielle, I was like, I'm watching it, and I find it an absolute chore watching when someone's extracted. And they've got all this stuff, and then they're having to like break weapons down and sell components and fit it all into their stash and stuff like that. And it's boring as hell to watch that stuff. But I keep saying to Danielle, if I understood what they were doing and what the end game of doing that stuff, well, obviously that's to get more money. But the money's irrelevant to me because I don't know what that money goes to. I know you can. The grand scheme will be obviously use the money to buy better stuff, so you can go in and get more stuff because that's what it'll be. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy in that sort of way. But that doesn't have any value to it, and I need to fully understand the costs and the benefits for it all, and that's the thing. It's just like there was a shootout on Sacriel, Anthony Kongfan, and Break were playing the other day, and there was like a bit where the chat absolutely lost their mind because Break kind of like took 3 or 4 people out. He took someone out, but then another 2 people appeared out of nowhere, and he took both of those out. It was like on the edge of death, and as he extracted, everyone was like, "Wow, that was so tense." I was like, "See, I don't know if it was supposed to be tense or not. I don't know what I'm supposed to be expecting there." But I just want to know a bit more. It looks like a really cool game. I think I will jump into it, but obviously not until I've got Jedi Fallen Order and stuff out of the way first.
Yeah. Do you not think it's weird that when you shoot someone in that you don't have a hit map?
Yeah, I find it the fact that there's no HUD. I've been trained to use my HUD for so long that just seeing like a bzz and someone could die, someone could crawl or drop to the floor, go prone or something, and you don't really know until you go up. But it's that cool real element that I'm thinking it's almost like playing hardcore mode in Call of Duties and things like that. So it's quite bizarre. Saying that, I was actually playing PUBG last night and I downed someone. I was playing duos and my teammate killed the person that I downed just as I started shooting at his teammate. So anyway, I'm shooting at this other guy and it flashed up on my screen saying in red letters, "You killed." And I was like, "Nice, I killed him." But because the HUD confused me so much there that I thought I'd killed the second guy. So I stopped shooting. And this guy was in front of me. And I thought I'd just killed him. So I took my finger off the trigger. And it wasn't. It was me getting the kill thing from the first guy. So this guy just ended me right there. And then I was like, fuck! But anyway, massively off topic there. GDC Awards. We know what they are. It's probably not even worth going through them too much more. But what we will do, though, is jump into a completely... separate game. What I am going to do is take that off the screen. I'll give a teaser of what it is while I type it out. Have you played... Oh, we've lost Bib. Okay, I said I was going to give a teaser of what it is, but he's not even on screen. Can you still hear us, Bib? Don't think he can.
No, it's just come back. I don't know what happened then.
Oh, okay, we've got audio back now.
1 minute. I might be able to do it this way. Turn on camera. Boom.
Hey, he's back. He's back. Okay. Well,
I don't know what happened there.
That gave us enough time to. I'll jump back into this way. Ta-da. Oh, yeah. There we go. Okay. So next piece of news and final piece of news for the day is God of War 2 plot details. And this is an article written by GameCentral for Metro, and I'll bring it up on screen for you guys watching on the video stuff. There you go. Actually, a couple of days back, but definitely a game the size of God of War 2, definitely worth picking up. So we thought we'd revisit it for you guys. And this says God of War 2 plot details hint at major role for Faye. So Kratos' second wife may end up being a playable character in future God of War game, as Corey Barlog discusses his story plans. So director Corey Barlog has given some first hints as to what direction a God of War sequel may take, as he talks about his desire to put a focus on Kratos' second wife. Speaking to PlayStation Access, he said that he'd like a future game to deal with Faye's backstory, which, given the way he talks about it, may even mean she becomes a playable character. Faye was the one I identified with the most, says Barlog in the video. You get to understand that she has way more power than all of them and is actually the controller of so much in this universe. That way, when we build up to this, when you actually get to see this, I don't know how we're going to tell this or when we're going to tell this, but I really want to tell the story of Kratos and Faye meeting, says Barlog. Which is why there was lots of this in that comment there. So Faye is never seen in the God of War reboot, but her death sets in motion the plot of the game, and she's constantly referenced by Kratos and her son Atreus. At first, it seems that she, unlike most of the other characters, is not from Norse mythology, but a late game reveal, which we won't spoil here but the video above does, explains who she really is. Her true nature implies plenty of potential for interesting video game abilities, and several times she's described as being a great warrior. As you can see, there's no indication that Faye's story would necessarily be told in the next game, as the reboot is expected to be part of at least a trilogy of the new games. Is the most that Barlog has talked about a follow-up, though, with Sony never confirming a sequel or indicating when it might be out, although you can expect that to change as soon as the PlayStation 5 is properly unveiled. Existing rumours suggest that future games may involve Kratos heading to ancient Egypt or Japan, but there's little real evidence for that, and so far, the talk of involving Faye is the most detailed confirmation we've had of anything. I'm not going to hit those videos because, not played.
Spoiler-ish.
Yeah.
Well, it's exciting news for people who have obviously finished the first one. It's weird that they've put God of War 2 in the title then if they've actually confirmed that they haven't confirmed the new sequel. But you've got to imagine with how big that it is, that there's going to be an army of these games coming out. So they've got enough time to be able to do a prequel of how his son came about and things like that then.
Yeah, I reckon.
You'd imagine.
I reckon so. I think, like you said, there's no way that they won't do another God of War game. And that mentioned something about a trilogy within the article there. Let's see if I can jump back to it. Where did it say? As you can see, there's no indication that Faye's story would necessarily be told in the next game, as the reboot is expected to be part of at least a trilogy of new games. So yeah, they're expecting a trilogy. It's never been confirmed, but people are expecting at least a trilogy of God of War games. And due to the massive critical and commercial success of God of War, I think it's absolutely nailed on. They are right to assume, though, I think that was it last year or the year before God of War came out? Usually a game of that size takes 4 or 5 years to make, so that would put it next year, maybe the year after, before we get the next one, which is absolutely 100% PS5 territory. So they'll wait until the PS5 comes out, and then maybe alongside PS5 Holiday 2020, we may then start to see God of War. Or they may just have the launch titles out, and then just, we'll pick that up a little bit afterwards. Or it could be a launch title, you never know. I doubt it. I doubt that it would be a launch title. But I think it'd be more like a Metal Gear Solid 4 PS3 kind of thing, in terms of it would be spoke about at launch, but it'll be almost a year or so afterwards. I think that's more likely. One thing I do want to mention, though, and I need to bring this up on screen, is we had Kratos, or Kragos, from God of War 4 into the studio. God of War 4.
War? I mean, what war? There's been loads of wars.
There he is, look at him!
What war? Some dude with a stick and a duff beat. I mean, look at that!
And obviously, that is in the opening credits for any of our streams. That's like the countdown.
He's so pretty.
Amazing.
He doesn't look intimidating at all. Or is he?
What is that about? That's my chair.
Ladies and gentlemen, we may have the actual real-life God of War with us today.
Hi, Brady.
Hello, Brady.
Anyway.
What do I call you, sir?
You call me Kragos.
Yeah. There we go. Thank you for letting me play that and indulge in our own creative mindset at Ice Cream Uploads. Back in the day when we weren't hampered with the likes of Bib, we had a bride D instead. We exchanged one B for another. Rest in peace, Bridie. She's not dead, really. She's just dead from an ice cream perspective. Well, she's yeah. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, Scav have equipment going in. If you play as a Scav, the AI Scavs don't shoot you unless you shoot them. Oh, really? Did not know that. Did not know that. Okay, so there you go, babe. That's it.
We know. We now know.
I was just trying to close down the browser windows, and where I've paused it, Kragos looks a very special man. Look at his face. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the stream for us. We've spoke about. I know we haven't really spoken about God of War that much, really. We've just spoke about the fact that the plot has been detailed. I think the fact actually that they mentioned the story will revolve around Faye a lot more. And I'm having to guess a lot at this because I haven't played through it. The fact that she's such a powerful character from what they're saying, obviously she's the mother of the child and she was gone before it. There's definitely a lot of backstory to the game as a whole. And if she's one of the most powerful characters in there, then it kind of makes absolute sense. It's a no-brainer to feature her as that. But also, the fact that the first game had two main characters, and they were both male, it kind of is a no-brainer then to give it from a female perspective as well, to have that inclusive overall story. The first game, from what I have picked up, correct me if I'm wrong, had a lot of paternal elements to it. So even though Kratos was this big hard bloke, he still was bringing up a child, and I think maybe I'm wrong. Craig will be able to say that some of the elements of the story was like him breaking down that barrier of being this hard ass, but then obviously having the female maternal element to it would be a natural progression as well. So yeah, it can't. In all intents and purposes, will we see a God of War game, another one? Yes.
Absolutely.
Does it make sense to include one of the most powerful people in the universe that's been heavily featured in the story, but not actually featured? Yes. So yeah, it kind of seems. I mean, it might not be the case, but it kind of seems like it would be logical, and especially if Corey Barlog's not spoken about anything, but has spoken about that, you'd think, okay, well that's some foreshadowing. Oh well, one thing we haven't actually had on screen is today's. Oh, there we go. You can't see it because the ice cream logo. Gang, rob packages from delivery van. There's a video in the bottom corner of the screen.
Oh, God.
And I was like, I looked at it and I could just see the ice cream uploads jerseys. And I was like, what the hell? But it was the Gamers Apparel merch thing.
The Metro, as always.
Yeah, what was it before? Was it like a pigeon or something?
It's someone kicking a pigeon on it.
A seagull or something, yeah. Person kicks something. So, yeah, there we go. But that's, ladies and gentlemen, now that is actually the end of the show. There is no Death Stranding stream following this up today. Josie only streams Death Stranding on a Tuesday and a Wednesday for us. So today we have finished with our ice cream content, unless Bibby, rolls out some. Do you know what? Let's get a petition going now. We should have Bibby doing some full-on GTA RP spectaculars. We all know, because he mentioned it yesterday on the show, that Bibby has. Recently downloaded Grand Theft Auto 5 on the PC. So I think we need Bibby full on, no pixeled out of his mind, as a Latino stripper called Pedro Gonzalez. Yeah.
Why have you built this lore around it already? Like, I haven't even gone into the character customization yet, and you're already starting to give me all this stuff.
Don't play the game, baby. My name is Pedro Gonzalez.
I did attempt to want to stream this game last night. However, Streamlabs took a shit. It just wouldn't work. Every other platform that I used for streaming, i.e. the original Streamlabs and Elgato, all worked, barring Streamlabs OBS. So I deleted it, I reinstalled it, an older version, and it just kept on downloading the new version, and then just kept on lagging. I don't know what it was. The preview pane was just constantly stopping and starting like every 2 seconds. I got pissed off. and recreated the profile in original OBS. So I am good to go. I'm ready to stream at any other given time, time permitting at home, obviously.
So what you're saying is Pedro Gonzalez will be
making his debut tonight. No, it won't be tonight because it's my nephew's birthday, but potentially tomorrow. Who knows? Who knows?
Oh, excited. Are you actually going to RP it as well?
I don't know yet. It's been a long time since I've picked up GTA 5, so I may need to get used to the city, what it's got to offer me first before getting balls deep into some, I don't know, Latino stripping like you've just mentioned. But yeah, it will be happening. It most certainly will be happening. And obviously, I want to continue with the Resident Evil franchises as per. We'll get as many as I can done before the beginning of April when the remake 3 comes out. So we'll see.
Boomske. Well, on that Pedro Gonzalez bombshell, we will end our stream today. So everyone that has been in the show today, thank you very much for joining us yet again for another spectacular episode of The Scoop, even if I do say so myself. She was a naughty woman, spoilers, says Next Gen Renegade. We're talking about Pedro Gonzalez, or I don't know. But anyway, that is it. We will obviously be back at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And then again on Friday, we are back 10 a.m. each and every single weekday. Obviously, we will have this going out on social media throughout the day. We'll have the video podcast live on YouTube in around an hour or so. And then the audio podcasts will go out a little bit later on today. Shout out to the SoundCloud Massive. So yes, feel free to look out for those. We are at Ice Cream Uploads across all social media. Make sure you check that out. I can type ! Socials in the chat. Let's see if Pirate does it. Let's see if it works. Watch. Every time Pirate does it, it doesn't work. So ! Socials in the chat will give you links to all of our social media. If you can't, just be bothered typing Ice Cream Uploads. You know, it's January. I can get that mood if that's the case. But anything you want to add before we disappear, Bibarino?
Yes, I do. As always, if you do see anything knocking about in the video game sphere and beyond, then feel free to tag either myself. We've got Rubinho on Twitter, Graham_Day on Twitter, Jeroen on Twitter. You may need to try and figure out how to spell that one. I could tell you now, but that's that we're telling. Oh, Ice Cream Uploads across absolutely everything. We will be able to pick that up and we will include it in the next show, which will be the very next morning.
Lovely. And Pirates just dropped ! Socials in the chat, so the links are there for Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all the rest, obviously. Ice Cream Uploads across the board. Until 10 a.m. tomorrow, or whenever Pedro Gonzalez gets his RP thing in motion, have yourselves a very, very lovely day, ladies and gentlemen. And until next time, I just want to make sure that you all stay frosty.